Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So Jason, Dedeker, how are we doing today?
I'm great. It's New Year, y'all.
Yeah.
New
Yes,
Year.
indeed it is.
And do you want to hear some really good news for this new
What?
year of 2019?
Yeah.
We're 10% through the Bible.
Really?
That's insane to me.
Yes.
I'm so impressed.
I don't believe it either, but according to our little chronological reading plan, we're 10% of the way there.
And in my head, I was like, okay, so just 9 more years and we'll finish it. I'm like, wait, no, we haven't been doing this a whole year yet.
No.
No. And also, like, doesn't that mean that we've almost read as much of the Bible as, like, most people who consider themselves
Truly.
religious? Or what was that?
Yeah, you're right. What was
Yeah.
that number about if you attend?
Yeah, what was that number?
It was that if you attend Catholic Mass every single day.
I thought you said it was only about, like, 12%
Yeah,
or
something,
something.
maybe 15%.
So we're real close.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know if I have that statistic on hand anymore. But yeah, it was something like that. It was quite a low amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do think it's
Jeez.
funny that, Emily, you've told some stories to me. Saying that makes it sound like you were lying. You've recounted some anecdotes to me of
Yes.
already having the experience of, like, kind of schooling some Christians on what is actually said in certain parts of the Bible. Is that true?
Well, regarding, like, literally our last episode, I remember I had just talked to somebody about it or about the fact that, like, oh, we just, like, saw the 10 Commandments. They, like, finally came out, and the woman was
Like, you finally dropped that
oh.
album.
Yeah.
No, exactly. The 10 Commandments, everyone. Whoa. But the woman was like, oh, yeah, so did you get to the part where, like, he got the 10 Commandments on the slab of stone, and then he, like, ran down with the slab of stone? And I was like, well, apparently the slab comes later, because no, like, it wasn't on a slab. Like, that's what Hollywood wants you to think, but it ain't there. bro.
Hollywood's secret 10 Commandments agenda is all about
Exactly.
slabs, and
Oh,
we need
snap.
to stick
Yeah.
it to the man and know what the truth is.
Yeah.
Totally.
Let
No,
the
you're
veil
right.
from
So
your eyes
I thought
be
it was pretty
lifted.
fun that, yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool that, like, I got to say, like, there wasn't a slab. Like, we read it. There wasn't, I don't know where it was, but it wasn't there.
So
yeah.
you're
God
getting
just told him.
more
Yeah.
and more opportunities
Yeah.
to mansplain the Bible back to people.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. What would it be like?
Well, in good Christian fun, they call it Godsplaining to people.
Yeah, but what?
There you go.
But that's more of like people. That's more of like what we're doing to Emily, is like people who are raised in the Christian faith,
Right.
Godsplaining the terminology and language and theory
Yeah.
and stuff like
I
that.
mean, just Bible-splaining.
So Emily would be like podsplaining?
But no, there's
Because she's
But it's more about the Bible.
It's more about the Bible than the
Yeah.
pod part.
Yeah.
maybe like
Yeah.
actually having read the Bible splaining.
Oh yeah, I like that.
There you
It's
go.
really trips,
Yeah.
just falls right off the tongue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a pretty good
the
one.
easiest thing in the world to say. So, yeah.
So Emily, do you remember what we read last time?
I mean, like I just said, I think the big overarching thing that happened was that God gave Moses the 10 Commandments. And we got to go into great detail about a couple of them towards the end. One in particular having to do with an ox.
Yeah.
Or if an ox, like, kills someone, then you gotta, like, do all this stuff with the ox.
It was
Yeah,
like, here's
or
the
not.
10 Commandments. This is what applies to all the humans. Now we got to get into ox law.
Yeah,
Which is
because
way
It was
more
so
involved.
weird.
these
It was so
oxes are
weird.
just running amok. Well, think about it though, because I think about the Egyptians or any other like pantheistic culture. Surely they have a god whose job it is to deal with like
Ox
cattle.
justice?
Yes, an
Okay.
ox justice. But it's like if God is just the one God, he's got his hands full with all of the laws and all of the things that apply to all of the creatures, including ox law.
Yeah. No, you're totally
Yeah,
right.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they had to tell us that, though.
Yes. Well, that's the thing is that that part is not technically part of the Ten Commandments, but it is kind of part of this
It's a footnote.
laws and stuff.
Well,
that
we're going to get a
getting.
lot of footnotes today because
Yeah.
it's
Man.
more Ox law.
Okay.
It's more of the details and specifics of, if the Ten Commandments are the big overarching guidelines, this is the minutia and the legalese.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
put on your.
Well, maybe then put on your legalese hat.
I was gonna say put on your law school pants, but sure.
Oh, I like law school
well, sure,
pants,
okay.
though. That's great.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, I was going to say, like, does that mean that maybe we still have time for Moses to run down the mountain with these potential slabs?
That's totally
So
possible.
maybe I'm wrong.
It's totally possible.
But maybe, like,
So wait, okay,
yeah.
hang on. So then your image is that Moses is up here, he gets the Ten Commandments, he's like, oh my goodness, thank you, Lord. And then he's like, okay, but God's like, no, but you need to sit here while I go into all the details of Ox law for several chapters. Just sit here, make a little campfire, get cozy. I hope you're writing this down because I got some intense details to give you. And then once God gets through several chapters of this, then Moses is going to come running down the mountain to tell people all this stuff.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Well, Moses will have it on stone tablets, and then he'll also have some like papyrus or whatever
Oh,
too.
okay, got it.
And he's like, guys, I got the Ten Commandments and also like the bylaws here, So
yeah.
The reference
Like,
code.
those aren't as important, but just in case you're interested,
yeah,
here they
here's
are.
the municipal codes and all that.
Yeah, totally.
So for those of you who want to read along with us today, we are reading Exodus 22, 23, and 24.
Wait,
today.
well, what's everybody drinking?
Well, I'm drinking a hot toddy because I'm a sick gentleman. Got a little bit of a cold.
You sick little gentleman.
And I just
Aw.
flew to Japan yesterday. And flying while you have a cold, I don't recommend it. This
Sounds
this
awful.
this wasn't the worst traveling while sick I've ever done, but I don't recommend it either way. So yeah, I'm doing a little hot toddy action.
Well, I'm doing a hot toddy
That sounds
too
lovely.
because you're in the same room with me and I don't want to get sick. And I figure
that's how hot
maybe
toddies work.
That's how hot toddies work. You just kind
Yeah.
of sandwich around the virus
Okay.
and
Yeah.
remove it from
Totally.
your body. At least that's what I like to believe. What about you, Emily?
I am having a Modern Times like special edition beer called a Sula. It says that it is a Berliner style Weiss ale with raspberries, blackberries, and black raspberries.
Oh,
Ra-
How are
raspberries.
black raspberries
hang on.
and blackberries
and
different?
black raspberries. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Is
Black-
a Sula
it's very good.
kind of like a doula, but a beer?
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, I know a kid with the last name Sula.
Oh, I
so
see.
when I saw that, I was like, oh,
What's his beer?
it's so-and-so Sula's beer.
Excellent.
Yeah,
All right.
but there we are. All right.
Well,
so
with that, we hope you have your drinks with you at home, and we want to remind everybody to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time. All right. With that, it is Exodus 22. If a man steals an ox or a sheep and kills it or sells it, he shall pay 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. Wow. So he has to give back
If he stole
a
it.
lot, or he has to...
Yeah, he has to give
oh, I
back with
see.
compounding sheep returns, basically.
I'm assuming if he's stealing an ox or a sheep, he doesn't have any.
Yeah.
So how is he going to get these random other oxen?
That's a good point.
Well, maybe
He's got to steal them from other people who don't catch
It's
him.
just a bad
Yeah,
cycle.
I guess you're right. Jeez. If a thief is found breaking in and is struck so that he dies, there shall be no guilt of bloodshed for him. Wow.
Yeah.
So this is
I
like
guess that's
if you
like-
shoot someone who comes on your lawn, you're all right. Bible says so. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I guess
Pretty
so.
That's
sure
where
that's
that
what's-
good old tradition started.
Yep.
Right here.
Totally, yeah. If the sun has risen on him, there shall be guilt of bloodshed for him. He shall make restitution. So that means, like, if he lives through the night,
If the
then
sun
you
has
are
risen
guilty?
on him,
Yeah, I think it means if he lives.
or is it that
Huh.
like, wait, or is it that he wasn't caught, he made it to the next day, then you don't have license to shoot him right away, or kill him, or throw a rock at him, or whatever it is that you would do.
Then he has to
that's
make
a
restitution.
very odd law.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm sure so many of these came out of like real life scenarios. Like when we were reading about a bull like falling into somebody's hole that they dug. It's like
Right, that's true.
I don't think
Good
anyone was
point.
sitting around just conceptually coming up with this idea of like, you know, they weren't awake at night being like, but what if my bull falls into a hole that someone dug? It's like this happened and then they had to figure this stuff out.
Yeah. I'm just checking some other translations. Oh. No, it is specifically like if someone comes and steals your stuff at night and gets struck and dies, it's no harm, no foul. But if it's during the daytime, if it's after sunrise, then you're guilty for killing him.
So
That's
nighttime,
very strange.
nighttime
Why
makes it
does
all
that
okay?
matter?
Yeah, it seems like the nighttime is the right time for thief murder.
For a killing? That's like why the purge only happens at night.
Well, these are so confusing.
I agree.
Gosh, but suppose it happens after the sun has come up. Then you are guilty of murder. A thief must pay for what he has stolen, but suppose he does not have anything, then he must be sold to pay for what he
yeah,
has
we
stolen.
didn't get to that part yet.
I see.
We're
Okay.
getting
sorry,
there.
Getting ahead. But it answers
Gosh.
your question from earlier.
All right. If he has nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the stolen property is found in his hand alive, whether it is an ox, donkey, or sheep, he shall pay double.
Oh, okay.
So, like, if he just has an ox in his hand, then he has to give 2 oxen?
Yes, but before it was like if he kills it or sells it, then he has to give 4 back.
Well, 5 for the exchange rate for oxen
Ox.
is 5 for 1.
Oh, 5 for 1.
And sheep's just 4
okay.
to 1.
Gosh, I really hope they have this posted somewhere.
They really, really need to.
Or at least some
because
good
I bet a lot of
indexing.
people screwed this up.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. If a man causes a field or a vineyard to be eaten and lets his animal loose, and it grazes in another man's field, he shall make restitution from the best of his own field and from the best of his own vineyard.
Okay, so
Okay.
if
If
you...
he causes a field or vineyard to be eaten...
Like he lets his
What does that mean?
animal over into someone else's yard,
Yes.
and they eat up
Oh,
their
and-
field
Uh-huh.
or their vineyard.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and then he needs to pay them back with his own stuff from his own field or vineyards.
Well, with the best of his own.
exactly. Don't give us those
Yeah.
crappy, like, raisiny grapes that no one wants. You gotta
Yeah.
give us the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting. Jeez. Okay. If fire breaks out and catches in thorns so that the shocks of grain or the standing grain or the field are consumed, he who kindled the fire shall surely make
That
restitution.
hits close to home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're working on now, right?
That's what they're working
Getting
on.
restitution
Yeah.
from the company that
Oh,
started
really?
the fire.
From the person.
The
For those
company.
of you who don't know, Dedeker, unfortunately, her
Oh, gosh, yeah.
mom is from Paradise, California.
Yeah, my parents
so
lost
I'll leave it at
their
that.
house and like all of my possessions in the campfire that like wiped out the entire town. And now there's lawsuits, and it's just a great time. It's 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 an American tradition.
That's true.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Have a fire, throw a lawsuit.
So it
Yes.
makes me feel more patriotic, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
more biblical because it's right here.
That's true. Okay, all
you
right.
know,
You're
Biblical
right.
basis.
There it is.
Okay,
they shall surely make restitution.
great.
If a man delivers to his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it is stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, he shall pay double.
Okay, so why did we need to have this one?
Wait, I think you got to keep going.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. If the thief isn't
Yeah.
found, then the master of the house shall come near to God and find out if he hasn't put his hand to his neighbor's goods. That makes no sense to me, none at all.
Okay, so the idea is okay. Hang on. We'll do a little role play. If I'm like,
Yeah, let's
hey-
try it. This is like a word problem.
it really is.
This is
a
like a
story
math
problem.
problem.
Okay, hey Jace,
Yeah. Hey,
I
what's
have
up?
some money.
Okay.
Will you keep it safe for me? I don't like taking my money with me everywhere I go. I'm gonna go on vacation, but can I leave this at your house and you'll keep it safe?
Sure. Yeah. Just
Okay,
keep it in
great.
my house here.
Great. Okay. So I go off on vacation, and then like, let's say Emily comes and steals just my money out
Whoa.
of Jace's house.
Yeah.
Not Jesus.
Right.
Then
Oh, okay.
Emily needs to pay double. I
If-
assume
if-
to
if
me,
she's
if
caught.
if we find her.
But if we don't find her, if she gets away with it,
If I come back and you're like, "Oh my God, this thief came
Uh-huh.
and stole money," and I'm like, "Are you sure it was a thief, Jace?"
yeah, right. So then I have
Hmm.
to go near to God to find out
What does that mean?
if I haven't put
How do
my
you do
hand
that?
to your goods.
But how?
Well, my guess here, and maybe we could check another translation,
Uh-huh.
but my guess is that, remember earlier where we kind of set up this system of this person's in charge of disputes between
Yeah,
these
the
10
chain of
people, and then
command.
this is these 100 people, and this is the whole tribe. That, like, I think that might be related to the temples or related to
Okay.
God. And so come near to God is to, like, go and kind of have a trial or maybe swear an oath.
Yeah, and like maybe you have to swear an oath, or like I don't know. What do other translations say?
Yeah, let me see. You got a translation you want to hear? How about the good news?
Sure.
But if the thief is
Cool.
not found, the one who is keeping the valuables is to be brought to the place of worship, and there he must take an oath that he has not stolen the other one's property.
see.
Dude, I nailed that.
You
Well,
did. I'm impressed.
I mean, I feel like he could be still lying, but
yes, he
I
of
guess
course.
maybe the word of God is a big thing here or something.
Well, but the God
Fear
would
of God.
punish them.
In theory,
probably.
yes. Old
Yeah.
Testament God would punish you if you were lying in a place
Liar,
of worship.
liar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's see. For every matter of trespass, whether it be for ox, for donkey, for sheep, for clothing, or for any kind of lost thing, whereof one says, "This is mine," the cause of both parties shall come before God. He whom God condemns shall pay double to his neighbor. Oh, okay, so God is just going to, like, decide?
Well, okay, so it seems like what we learned in the previous verse is that this phrase of like coming before God or coming near to God is synonymous with going to a place of worship or going to the judges.
Yeah, like the New International Version
Yeah.
says appear before the judges
see.
instead of come near to God.
Okay, interesting.
So it seems
Oh,
like
interesting.
because this is sort of a religious form of government, it seems like those two things are kind of synonymous with each
I
other.
see. Okay, so if
Okay.
someone has a dispute over property, they need to go to the judges to work it out.
Right.
Is basically what that means.
Yeah. And it seems like double is kind of the standard going rate, right? We had that one exception earlier for the 5 ox,
Yeah,
and
that was
the 4
random.
sheep, but everything else has been double.
Okay, so this is is this a precedent for restitution based not just on the value of what was lost, but also on like emotional, like pain and suffering?
See, I was thinking it was more of oh gosh, what's the legal term for like you're not
Like
just paying
damages.
you're not just paying damages, but you're paying more specifically to be a disincentive for other people to commit the same crime.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a term for it,
Uh,
and I can't think of it.
Yeah, when you and I were doing our thing for the that small claims court
Right.
thing
Just discuss all our
against
legal matters
previous
on this
landlord.
podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I wish we had read.
all of our dirty laundry.
I wish we had read this before we had that, because it probably would have informed us better. We could have gone into
Yeah.
court and been like, "Well, the Bible says in
Yes.
Exodus 22."
Yeah, is it not dissenters something?
No,
No, I
it's
don't know.
not. It's anyway. Someone at home is like screaming into their podcast machine, being like, "It's this."
You stupid idiot. Yes, of course, but that's fine.
Okay.
All right. Well, where are we? 12?
No, now you're on 10.
Oh, okay, yes. If a man delivers to his neighbor a donkey, an ox, a sheep, or any animal to keep, and it dies or is injured or driven away, no man seeing it, the oath of Yahweh shall be between them both, whether he hasn't put his hand to his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept it, and he shall not make restitution.
Okay, so kind of the same thing that if I'm like, hey, Jace, my donkey, my precious donkey, please hang on to it. And then while I'm gone,
It runs off.
It runs off. You make
Or
an
it just
oath.
like keels over.
Or keels over, and no one sees it. We make an oath that you are not responsible and you don't need to pay me back anything. And
Well, we
basically, I need
go
to
to the
start learning
judges.
that like I cannot leave things with
Yeah,
Jace.
clearly.
Basically, is the lesson.
Clearly, obviously,
Right.
man.
So yeah, like no, we
But-
go to the judges. It's not just about an oath. I think this
Okay.
is actually like
Formalized.
having some sort of trial, and they investigate a little bit, probably just based on your reputation within the
Yeah,
tribe
most likely.
or something. But
But it says, but if it is stolen from him, he shall make restitution to the owner
Because
of
there
it.
was like, then you got sloppy and let it get stolen.
Yeah,
oh.
exactly.
No, I think what this is saying is, and the owner of it shall accept it, and he shall not make restitution. From 11, I think that's saying like if the courts decide your neighbor didn't steal this from
Yes.
you, it just got lost, then you just have to take it, and you're not going to get restitution.
Mm-hmm.
But if that neighbor stole it from you, then they pay restitution. Not if it was stolen from the neighbor, but if it's determined. That's how I would read this.
Okay.
With my lawyer pants on.
Great. Okay. I think you have more reliable lawyer pants than I do.
I
so
don't know.
I will just accept it.
Anyway.
Okay. If it is torn in pieces, let him bring it for
Oh,
evidence.
jeez.
He shall not make good that which was torn.
Wow.
What? Wait, we're still
Like the animal.
yes, we're still
the
referring
what?
to a living creature who's torn in pieces.
Yes.
He shall not make
I
good
hear
that
you.
which was torn. What?
I'm confused about the scenario where this animal gets
Well,
torn
if
to
a
pieces.
wild animal tore it to pieces and he's like, oh, dang it, I guess the foxes got into the donkey pen again.
Maybe, yeah.
And he's like, all I got left is some hooves. I guess I don't have to pay you back for hooves. I don't know what the going rate is on torn
Hooves?
apart animals.
I see.
Gosh.
Here, the Bible in Basic English says, but if it's been damaged by a
good.
beast and he is able to make this clear, he will not have to make payment. So it's like as long as you can provide evidence that like, no, look, it was mauled. I didn't sell it. I didn't eat it.
Okay.
Like you can
Got it.
tell.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. If a man borrows anything of his neighbor's and it is injured or dies, the owner of it not being with it, he shall surely make restitution.
Okay, so if you were like borrowing my donkey to use,
Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to you asking me to keep it safe for you.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then you're responsible for whatever happened to it.
Yikes.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I borrow your donkey and we fall into a pit and it's injured. I would need to pay you for that.
And I would have some questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it says, if the owner of it is with it, he shall not make it good. If it is a leased thing, it came for its lease.
Oh.
What?
I
So,
don't know.
wow,
Okay,
this
well,
law
what do you
is...
got
really
now,
don't
Mr.
know.
Lawyer Pants?
Well, what I think this is saying is that if I paid for it, if I rented...
You rented it from me.
Yeah, like rather than having
You
it
rented
on...
this donkey.
Rather than getting it on lend, I actually leased
Rented it. Okay, you
I-
leased a donkey from me.
Then I don't have to pay you damages for it because it's...
You already paid me.
I guess
Paid
so,
for, kind
yeah.
of.
Jeez.
Or if you were with it supervising, then I also
Then
don't
you-
have to pay you anything for it.
That
Well,
feels
when you lease a
little weird.
car, if you damage the car, like at the end of the lease, you do need to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is...
So I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
that is a little confusing.
But okay.
Well, I like to
Okay.
believe that modern laws around leasing vehicles was not directly based on. They didn't just like
That's
copy and
true.
paist
I
Exodus
also
chapter
would like
22.
to hope that that is the case.
Oh man.
So, okay. If a man entices a virgin...
Oh.
here
Oh,
we
boy.
go.
oh,
Here we
now
go.
for something totally different.
Yep. If a man entices a virgin who isn't pledged to be married and lies with her, he shall surely pay a dowry for her to be his wife.
Okay, so
Huh.
you hit it. You
Cannot
acquit
quit
it.
it.
You cannot
you
quit
marry it.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
you cannot. Okay. If her father utterly refuses to give her to him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Dude.
There is a dowry of a virgin?
Well, yeah, of
Well,
course.
of course, there's
yeah.
a going rate for a virgin. Everyone knows that.
Obviously.
Well, okay.
No, but this is quite the racket here that the father's like, no way, dude, you can't marry her, but he still has to pay the dowry.
Yeah.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he lay with her. I guess that's like
Yeah.
the price that he's potentially
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
willing to have to pay.
Oh, whoa. Keep reading, Emily.
I know. What is this? You shall not allow a sorceress to live.
Period. Full stop.
What?
That's the
full
whole.
verse.
That's the
Cool.
whole law.
Okay. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're talking about a real sorceress, a fake sorceress, a euphemism for what a sorceress is. I have no idea.
But this is where the whole like witch trials thing comes
Yes, is thou shalt not
Oh,
suffer
man.
a witch to live.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's this verse.
from. Yeah.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, depending
Yeah.
on the translation. Here we
Yeah.
can
Oh, was that a King James translation?
gotta be.
probably.
Right.
Let's see.
It's so, yeah, because.
Yeah, thou shalt not
it's-
suffer a witch to live.
Yeah, that's
It's
the.
so dramatic.
So it must be, yeah, because I asked someone, I was like, well, what's your favorite Bible? And they're like, King James, obviously. And I was like, okay, no, I thought NIV, but whatever.
Do not let
So,
a woman
okay.
who does evil magic stay alive. Put her to death. Gosh.
Dang.
yeah.
Dang.
No clarification
down,
of what the evil magic
patriarchy.
might be, but
Yeah, this one could have used more clarification, like the oxen and who was responsible
Totally.
for them, and instead it's just like kill them.
yeah,
Kill
it's,
'em.
it's
Wow.
kill him first, ask questions later, which
Yeah.
I mean kind of was how all the witch trials through history have been.
Yeah, but here's
I guess you're
here's the
right.
justification for it.
Great, love it. Here we are, like
Wow.
however many hundreds of years of genocide.
Okay, I think we're
Yep.
getting to some good stuff here. Let's see if we can power through some of these.
Whoever has sex with an animal
this is
shall,
the good
shall
stuff.
surely be put
This
to
is
death.
the good, Jace.
is
You
good
look
stuff.
at this and you're like, oh, we're getting to some good stuff, y'all.
I'm just tired
All
of
right.
leasing animals and having them be injured when
You'd
they're at
rather
my
have
house.
sex with them.
Well, Well,
We're
no,
just
because
talking
I'd be
about
put to
sex
I'm
with
death.
never
animals.
leaving a donkey with you. Let me just say it from here on out. If I have any donkey or sheep or any animal in my care, I'm never leaving it with you.
See, I don't think I would
Yeah.
because the penalties here are pretty steep. I might have thought about it until I read this and I was like, put to death? Not worth
Okay,
it.
let's hear it.
Okay, so whoever has sex with an animal shall surely be put to death.
Jeez.
He who sacrifices to any god except to Yahweh only shall be utterly destroyed. What does that
Whoa.
mean? What do you mean by utterly destroyed? Like your family life, your like reputation shall be utterly destroyed, or do they mean like we will rip you to shreds?
Like a smear campaign on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Is that what they mean? Because it's not like specific how the utter destroying
There's
will happen.
all the examples from other translations are just destroyed, completely destroyed, utterly destroyed, shall be devoted to destruction.
Okay.
He'll be slated for destruction.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Would it be like
Whoa.
not only do you kill him, but it's like you don't even give his body last rites? Like you make it so that
Just
he never existed.
Burn him.
Yeah, or he's sort of destroyed in the eyes of God as well as being killed.
Yeah,
know?
I could see that.
Now, this next line is very interesting. You shall not wrong an alien. Neither shall you oppress him, for you were aliens in the land of Egypt. Now, I know
Wow.
what this is saying, but when you think about the aliens creating the pyramids, I wonder if the aliens like put this line in the Bible.
But we'll see.
Is God an alien? In the way that,
I mean,
like,
yes, right?
right? Ancient aliens.
Well, honestly, I read this and I went more to a political place. But
Yeah, totally.
Well, yes, I know how it's supposed to be, but I like this idea that like little green men who actually like made the pyramids also put this like
Yeah.
randomly in the
But wait,
Bible.
but then it doesn't make sense if he's like, you're aliens in the land of Egypt.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Where like then the metaphor
I
kind of
don't
falls
know.
apart a little bit.
I do love
All
this,
right,
and I would love
fine.
to spend more time on this one verse here with some Christians that I know about their treatment of aliens, but let's move on for now.
I agree with you, man. Like, not a Christian man, that Cheeto of ours. But anyways, you shall not take advantage of any widow, not widder. There goes the beer. Okay. You shall not take advantage of any widow or fatherless
The
child.
widows and fatherless children. Remember they
Oh,
were such
from
a hit in
Job.
Job? Yeah, they're back.
Right.
Oh, here they are. Well, I mean, technically Job hasn't happened in the Bible yet.
But in the timeline
So-
it has. But still,
timeline it has.
widows and fatherless
That's
children
true.
still a big hit. Still a
Yeah.
population that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
most vulnerable
Very
that we
important.
really need to care for.
Yeah, totally.
That's true. If you take advantage of them at all, and they cry at all to me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath will grow hot, and I will kill you with the sword. Whoa,
Wow.
and your wives shall be widows, and your children
Dang.
fatherless.
So it's kind of like what you do is going to come back
Damn.
at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. If you lend money to any of my people with you who is poor, you shall not be to him as a creditor, neither shall you charge him interest.
If you lend
So
money, to someone who's
you-
poor,
To
you
any of
don't-
my people.
any of
so
my
within
people
your
who's
own
poor,
people.
yes, you don't charge him interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay, so like you need to give money to him and just have it be like I'm donating money.
No, you could lend it to him and he'll pay you back. You just can't
Just
charge him interest.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
No interest.
You could charge like an Egyptian interest. That's fine, but not
What does that
one
mean?
of your
Well,
own
this
people.
was okay. I mean, we could.
Oh, you mean an Egyptian person? I was like, is there a thing called Egyptian interest? Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
But no.
Right. Another person or a Hittite or a, Samaritan or
this
whatever.
seems like
You
a
could
good
charge
prompt
them.
to talk about in our bonus content, perhaps about usury and how it's been used as a foundation
you-
for anti-Semitism for a long time.
Whoa.
Do any of y'all know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. I'm
All
excited
right,
for you to
time
educate
for you to
us.
us.
You
learn.
said
All right, and if
usury,
y'all are listening to
and
this
I
and
was
want to
like-
learn too, then you gotta become one of our patrons so you can get our bonus content.
There you go. If you take your neighbor's garment as collateral, you shall restore it to him before the sun goes down, for that is his only covering. It is his garment for his skin. What would he sleep in? It will happen when he cries to me that I will hear, for I am
I love
gracious.
that God is now putting his own commentary into this,
Yeah.
where he's like, "It's okay,
Yeah,
okay,
like,
if you're gonna like loan money to this poor person, it's okay if you take the only piece of clothing that he owns. It's okay for him to walk around naked during the day, but like, give it back to him at night. It's cold. Like, what are you, a monster?" Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good. You shall not blaspheme God, nor curse a
Blaspheme.
rule. Blaspheme. Blaspheme.
Yeah.
Okay, like blasphemous, but blaspheme is like the singular
The verb.
version.
It's the verb form.
To
To
blaspheme.
blaspheme.
To blaspheme.
I blaspheme. He blasphemes.
Wow.
We
I've never heard that
we
word before.
blaspheme.
We
until
blaspheme
right
on
now.
this show every day. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. You shall not blaspheme God, nor curse a ruler of your people. You shall not delay to offer from your harvest and from the outflow of your presses. You shall give the firstborn of your sons to
that
me.
escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, we did kind of already cover
Yikes.
this path before of talking about offering up the firstborn of literally everything to the Lord.
Yeah, but that's like a lot.
Well,
that's a big
we
deal.
established earlier how to do this. That you give the firstborn sons to him, but previously he set up the whole deal of like, you can do this by sacrificing a goat or something else
Yes,
instead.
right. The exchange rate for firstborn sons was like, you give him to me by sacrificing X number of lambs.
Yeah, or however it was. I forget the
Yeah.
specifics now.
Yeah.
Okay. You shall do likewise with your oxen and with your sheep. 7 days it shall be with its mother, and then on the 8th day you shall give it to me. You shall be holy men to me. Therefore you shall not eat any flesh that is torn by animals in the field. You shall cast it to the dogs.
So no carrion eating. Like you have
That
to
makes sense.
hunt it
That's-
and kill it yourself.
That's sanitary, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't be eating any rotten,
That makes sense.
like roadkill that's out there.
No, it's no good.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
probably good,
Yeah.
just in case.
It's bad policy in
Yeah.
general.
Well done, Emily. That was a
Yeah.
long chapter of many laws.
Well, all right. Yeah. No
I feel like I
problem.
have a better understanding of it, though. And I want to make a mental note to remember Exodus 22, because it's got some good stuff. The stuff about how you treat aliens was pretty good
yeah,
stuff,
that was
and,
good.
and
That was good.
how you treat poor people.
I mean, the
Um,
witches part, though.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, though. There's
Yeah.
a lot of interesting
Yeah.
stuff here.
Okay. Exodus 23. Looks like more the same. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
let's do it.
You shall not spread a false report. Don't join your hand with the wicked to be a malicious witness. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Interesting. You shall not
Huh.
follow a crowd to do evil. Neither shall you testify in court to side with a multitude to pervert justice. Interesting. I do like the image of like an
Huh.
entire crowd of people being like, we're going to go do evil. And you're like, yes, those are the people I
Nah.
want to be with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with them because they're the
I'm
group.
following them.
Yeah.
Okay. Neither shall you favor a poor man in his cause. What
What?
does that mean? What you got?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, on the other hand, don't favor a person's lawsuit simply because he is poor.
Oh,
Wow.
I see.
So
So,
that's
okay.
interesting.
It's kind of
Yeah.
about bearing false witness still. It's
Uh,
like, don't go with the mob even if they're doing something wrong just because there's a bunch of them. And similarly, don't make your decisions just out of pity for someone rather than like trying to really look at what's right and what follows the law.
do you think this came
That's
out of
such
like?
a weird thing to put in there.
But do you think
Yeah.
this came out of like someone who is poor trying to bring a lawsuit against somebody purely for trying to get the money, like some people do with lawsuits? You know,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
maybe. Okay.
So before we move on to the next chapter, we would like to take a quick break to talk to you about Patreon. So Patreon is a great place to help us out, help keep this show going. So even $1 a month on Patreon, which you can go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy and you can sign up to become a patron of ours. And even at $1, it really helps us to keep the show going. For $6 a month, you can become a parishioner. So that means you get access to bonus episodes, which are super helpful and informative to someone like me who knows very little about the Bible and sometimes needs a little bit of extra help. And Jason Dedeker are great about giving me some awesome info onto like things that might be a little bit challenging to understand when I take a first pass at reading the Bible. So sometimes we get things like more in-depth analysis and research, and then sometimes also we get to listen to things like musicals, Bible musicals. There's a lot of biblical musicals out there,
There
guys.
are a lot,
and
it's
that's
true.
awesome because I love musicals and I love getting to watch them with the two of you. And then all of you beautiful people out there. So if you want to get in on us watching and listening to those amazing shows, movies, musicals, then become a parishioner of ours. And then finally at $12 a month, you become a disciple. So you get to support the show, you get all the bonus content, and then you also get ad-free episodes, which is super awesome. You don't have to listen to me gab. And then also, you get them 2 days early. Like, what? That's so cool. You get them before anyone else. So you're super extra special, which obviously you already are, but you're super extra special. So become a patron of ours at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy today. Help us out, be extra special, and get some new bonus content as well.
And so, speaking of extra special, we have a goal. We have a goal to build a congregation. We have a congregational goal. And so that congregational goal is we're trying to reach 300 patrons. And when we reach that goal of 300 patrons, then we're finally going to be able to start releasing 2 Bible studies every week instead of just once a week. So that means that you don't need to wait as long between episodes. It means you're going to get more content in addition to like our bonus content as well if you're a patron. So again, help us reach our congregational goal, join our family, join our little not quite churchy family, and go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy.
And then the last thing we wanted to talk about is just if you could take a moment, a couple minutes out of your day and write us a review on iTunes or on Stitcher. So I'm going to give you the real scoop on this show. This is a difficult show to spread the word and advertise about for us because a lot of social media platforms don't let us advertise a show that has anything about drinking in the name of it, number one. And two, like, identifying our target audience is hard, right? Because this isn't something that's just for Christians. It's also not for like anti-Christians. It's something else entirely. And so the best way to actually get this out there and for more people to read it is to get reviews from you. Take a moment to leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher that's going to help other people know what to expect from this. It'll make us more likely to show up on like the new and noteworthy lists or higher in the rankings on iTunes, which is a big way that a lot of people find podcasts. So if you could really just take those couple minutes, that would be huge in terms of us growing this, which if you think about it, means more people listening to the show, which means more other patrons, which makes us more likely to get to the 300 patrons, which then gets you more drunk Bible study each week. It's just, again, it's a snowball effect of winning. So if you could take those couple minutes and write us a review, it would make a huge difference for us, as well as spreading the word to your friends and anyone you know who might be into this.
If you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall surely bring it back to him again. Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Like if it's like walking out on the road, like all drunk and being like, ugh. And then you grab him and you're like, no, donkey.
No, donkey. No. Go back to this person, even though I hate this person, but we're going to get you back safe.
All
okay,
right.
I guess that's some
that's
ethics.
Nice.
Okay. If you see the donkey of him who hates you fallen down under his burden, don't leave him. You shall surely help him with it. That's also nice.
Oh,
okay.
That's nice.
So don't show favoritism either way.
Either way.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You shall not deny justice to your poor people in their lawsuits. Okay, so we got to come back to the poor people to clarify, like, don't show favoritism, but also don't try to obstruct them.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, keep far from a false charge, and don't kill the innocent and righteous, for I will not justify the wicked. We're kind of going all over the place at the beginning of this one.
Yeah, we're jumping around a lot.
Yeah,
Jeez, I know, God. Can't you, like, do one category and then the next category? Like, how hard is this?
You shall take no bribe, for a bribe blinds those who have sight and perverts the words of the righteous. Yeah, that's solid.
It's a little poetic, but sure.
Here we are again. You shall not oppress an alien, for you know the heart of an alien, seeing you were aliens in the land of Egypt. That's even better.
Wait, okay.
Right?
Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess they were. That is good.
Yeah,
I like
some
it.
good stuff. All right, moving on. Okay, I hope you're all keeping up with all these wild topics that God's just throwing at you. Okay,
I have them all in my head already. I could recite them back to you, obviously.
Oh, could you? Do you want me to hold you to that?
No.
Okay.
That's a no. That's an no.
For 6 years you shall sow your land and shall gather in its increase. But the 7th year you shall let it rest and lie fallow, that the poor of your people may eat. And what they leave, the animal of the field shall eat. Okay, I'm confused why the poor are involved in the land lying fallow.
Yeah, I think the idea is that you let it rest and lie fallow, but it's going to grow a little bit of stuff, but you're not going to harvest it.
Poor people can go after.
Yeah, they'll come through and eat it.
Okay, in like manner you shall deal with your vineyard and with your olive grove. Who are these people who are like nomadic yet also able to have a vineyard and an olive grove?
I really don't know.
That I'm a little confused by. I'm
wonder
sure
if
there's some scholars out there who know what's up.
Growing.
But
They're just like the best growers
Unless
ever.
it's like, I know what some nomadic tribes do, which is like, well, they'll plant something when they're staying somewhere for the particular season that they know it's going to grow, or they'll plant something and then be nomading around and then kind of come back to it around the season when it would be harvested or needed to be tended to. So I suppose that could be in play here.
Or maybe at this point, these encampments are a little more permanent.
Yeah, that
Like
too.
not
Yeah.
completely like permanent, but they might be like, yeah, we're gonna stay in this spot for
For half the year.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's been a time. It's been a long time.
or even a
that's
number
true.
of years potentially. That's what
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is like sometimes there's like nomadic / agricultural people where it's just in seasons that they're nomadic. Where
Right
it's like-
between each of these places.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 6 days you shall do your work, and on the 7th day you shall rest. We've been here before.
Yep.
That your ox and your
Yes.
donkey may have a rest too. Can't forget them.
Oh,
And the son of
well,
your
that's nice.
handmaid and the alien may be refreshed.
Right, because we did establish
I still.
that like even your servants and slaves get that 7th day off.
Yeah.
That's true.
I cannot get this little green man out of my head. I really can't. Like every time they talk about this, like especially like American Dad style. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're alien.
Yeah.
Like he also gets a rest, obviously.
Obviously, that wouldn't be fair otherwise.
Okay.
No, for sure. For sure.
Be careful to do all things that I have said to you, and don't invoke the name of other gods, neither let them be heard out of your mouth. Okay, he's very
Don't
strict
even
about this.
say their name.
Yeah, don't
Don't say
even
'em.
mention it. Okay. You shall observe a feast to me 3 times a year. You shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, which was Passover.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, as I commanded you at the time appointed in the month of Abib, for in it you came out of Egypt, and
Right.
no one shall appear before me empty. Okay, so that's the first one. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of your labors, which you sow in the field, and the feast of harvest at the end of the year, when you gather in your labors out of the field. Okay, so it's kind of like the first harvest and the late harvest.
Yep.
Okay, 3 times in
Okay.
the year, all your males shall appear before the Lord Yahweh. How? It doesn't
Well,
go on to clarify.
Really?
No.
It's not.
No, okay, this is the next thing it says is you shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, neither shall the fat of my feast remain all night until the morning. The first of the first fruits of your ground you shall bring into the house of Yahweh your God. No, it doesn't clarify what all your males shall appear 3 times in the year, all your males shall appear before the Lord Yahweh.
I guess just that's what part of the feast ceremony is like presenting yourselves
All
to
the dudes show up?
Yahweh. Well, I mean, everyone's
They're
there,
like,
but
hey,
there's
what's up?
there's probably a part of it where it's like,
So everyone's
Here we
there, but we
are,
really need to
Yahweh.
clarify that, like, but really, like, the men are more special.
Oh, of course.
well, that is a
Obviously.
theme here. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's a given.
Okay.
Dedeker.
And now for something completely different, you shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk.
Excuse me?
I guess like a goat kid.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, like a goat kid.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
maybe like a calf kid.
That's
or something.
unbelievably sad.
Well, that's why he says don't
Unbelievably
do
sad.
it.
Yeah.
He's like, eat it, kill it, just don't boil it in its mother's milk because that's messed up. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you by the way and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Pay attention to him and listen to his voice. Don't provoke him, for
Don't you do it. Don't.
for he will not pardon your disobedience, for my name is in him.
Whoa,
But if
I
you
bet it
indeed
is.
listen to his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. This angel, this is this
Yeah.
the little green man?
Oh,
Who's-
this is the alien.
Maybe he's the alien, and they're like, do not provoke him. You do not want to see what
No,
happens when
no, no,
aliens
no,
get
no.
angry.
Don't you think about it.
Yeah, no, I do really like that though, that God's like, hey, so I'm gonna put my super powerful angel here to guide you and help you out. But seriously though,
He's
like,
gonna look a little weird, but don't even worry about it, okay?
yeah.
Don't
But then
even
God
worry
kind of
about
pulls him aside. He's like, but seriously, guys, he is a loose cannon. Watch what you say. Do not provoke
Yeah.
him because he will smite you like that.
it. Yeah, I can't really like be responsible for what happens if you do not.
Yeah.
Do
He
what I
is
say.
carrying license to kill.
so you know.
Like,
Ew,
just
yeah.
so you know, and I
Yeah.
cannot be responsible for what happens. Okay, for my angel / alien shall go before you and bring you in to the Amorite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, the Canaanite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, and I will cut them off.
Woo.
You shall not bow down to
Whoa.
their gods, nor serve them, nor follow their practices, but you shall utterly overthrow them and demolish their pillars. So he's given us like a quest list of
Yeah.
all the people that they have to
People to
overthrow.
F up.
People to F up, exactly. Okay. You shall
Okay.
serve Yahweh your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from your midst. No one will miscarry or be barren in your land.
Wow,
That's quite
really?
a
That is
promise.
a big promise.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will fulfill the number of your days. I will send my terror before you and will confuse all the people to whom you come, and I will make all your enemies turn their backs to you. I will send the hornet before you, which will drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before you. They hate hornets.
Yeah, seriously.
Specifically,
Yeah.
they really
The
hate
blue,
them.
the green hornet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate and the animals of the field multiply against you. Little by little, I will drive them out from before you
see.
until you have increased and inherit the land. I see you. So it's going to be like the long con
okay.
playing Civ, kind of slowly pushing people
The
out.
Bible's great at that. The Bible is great at those long
Yeah,
cons.
biblical
Yeah.
Civ is intense.
Wow,
Okay.
what a
Civ?
mod for Civilization for the computer game.
It's got to exist, right?
Just-
Somebody had to have made it.
I'm gonna search this later.
Okay.
We'll talk about it in the bonus episode if I find out
All
anything.
right.
Sweet.
I will set your border from the Red Sea, even to the Sea of the Philistines, and from the wilderness to the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their gods, it will surely be a snare to you. He's seriously hung up on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I do think it's so interesting though that like growing up, the Bible was always taught to me as like the whole message of the Bible is that there is only one God. But reading this, like I don't get that at all.
You're absolutely right. Like there are other gods, but we just don't like them.
Right. No,
but-
God's being very
and we
clear.
will kill
of-
you if you like them.
Right. God's like, I'm the one who's your God, and here's my rules, and part of that is you can't also worship these other gods. But he's not saying like they don't exist, those gods aren't real.
Well, that comes
That's
later.
true.
Like, definitely once we get into like Judges, at least from what I recall from Sunday school, there's much more rhetoric around like these gods. Not only do I not want you to worship them, but even if you did, they're really ineffective and they're really impotent. There's definitely a lot of
Maybe he
shade throwing.
realized, like, God in later years realized, like, it wasn't very effective to just say, like, don't do it. It was more effective to be like, they don't really matter at all. Like, they don't,
Like,
they don't
they're
do
not even
anything.
yeah.
yeah.
They're bull poop gods.
Mhm.
They're bull poop
Exactly.
gods.
Gosh. Yes. Bull poop gods. All right. With that, Exodus 24. This is the first time we're not inside quotes from God.
Wow, amazing.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
He said to Moses.
Oh, there's actually like story happening. It's not just a
Yeah.
list of laws. Wow.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
He said to Moses,
Okay.
Come up to Yahweh, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu.
Well, those guys are new.
Yeah, and 70 of the elders of Israel, who I'm not going to name,
Whoa. Whoa.
and worship from a distance.
Come up to Yahweh, but get out of here.
It's like
Not too
it's
close.
like you text your friend, you're like, hey, come over and have some beers, and then like your friend's halfway there, and you're like, actually, can you just like go have a beer at the cafe down the street, and
Yeah.
we'll keep texting.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I'll think about you.
Moses alone shall come near to Yahweh,
Right.
but they shall not come near, neither shall the people go up with him.
Okay, so got it.
Yep.
God loves Moses, man.
Yeah, he really
He
I don't
does.
know why.
Well, he's a charming
Really
boy.
loves that guy.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Wow.
Moses came and
fine.
told
He's
all
just
the
like-
people,
All of them.
You're not as smitten, I see. Moses came and told the people all the words of Yahweh and all the ordinances.
Oh, so he did. He was like, these are the 10 commandments.
Yeah.
These are all the ordinances.
Yep.
See, he came and there were no slabs.
You're right. No slabs.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not a slab to be seen.
Yep.
Not yet.
And all the people answered with one
Okay,
voice.
pause really quick. Because
Yep.
again, the people are answering with one voice. Can we all read this as one voice to give the listener kind of
Oh,
more of
okay.
an
Yeah.
ASMR
Sure.
experience of what,
I don't think that's what ASMR
what-
is, but all right, let's
what
do
the
it.
entire
Okay, ready?
tribe of Hebrews would sound like if it was just 3 people speaking at the same time?
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Okay.
And all the people answered with one voice and said,
All the words
All the
which
words
Yahweh
has
has
spoken,
Yahweh has spoken.
we will do.
Will do.
You
Will we do?
Dang it.
Shoot.
Damn it. Something like that.
Yeah.
Then the one guy who said it wrong was like, oh,
Oh, shoot.
Jeez, how did you all know exactly what to say put together?
dang it. Like, I was just trying to like lip sync
It's
along
how
with
I
you
feel
guys.
every time I
Don't
go to
worry
a
about it.
Catholic mass, honestly.
Yeah, you're like, how did you all
But
know?
I'm like, wait, what is it? Oh, dang it. Okay.
Yeah.
I said and also with me, not an also with you. Gosh darn it.
I can't imagine you doing that, but oh, here we go. Moses wrote all the words of Yahweh and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the mountain and 12 pillars for the 12 tribes of Israel.
Ain't no slabs. They don't say
Yeah.
nothing about
Wow.
slabs.
But he wrote it down.
He did. Okay.
So
Okay.
I would accept someone being like, he wrote it down in stone, but he didn't bring it down from the mountain with him. He did it
Doesn't
right
say
here.
any of that.
I'm just saying.
Doesn't say that.
It doesn't specify that he wrote it on paper either. So, Anyway,
Yeah.
just saying. He built all of that in the morning. Wow. Rose up
Mhm.
early in the morning, built an
Very
altar
early.
and 12 pillars for the 12 tribes of Israel.
Dang. Wow, master over here.
He sent young men of the children of Israel who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to Yahweh. Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar.
It's got to be a lot of blood. I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if you sacrificed one ox, that'd be a lot of blood to sprinkle on an altar. And this is
Yeah.
multiple oxen.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
He took the book of the covenant. Oh, so it was a book, I guess.
Did he wrote it? He wrote it in a book. That's the book of the covenant.
I guess. That's what I'm
Okay.
assuming.
All right.
Maybe
Is
it's
that-
not.
That sounds like the Ark of the Covenant.
Well, it eventually gets put into the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is that what this
Yeah.
is?
I mean, I think so.
Sweet.
I think
Right?
so. Well, I think we need to read more to
Okay.
figure it out.
He took the book of the covenant and read it in the hearing of the people. And they said,
Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. 1, 2, 3.
All
that
that Yahweh has spoken, we will
do.
Will we do?
Oh my
And
God.
gosh,
That was awful.
This is really embarrassing.
That was awful, children of Israel.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, I found it. I was like, where are we?
Maybe this is more
Okay.
accurate rendition of how it actually would have been.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just like building the accuracy of this moment.
Right.
Okay, I see it now.
Okay, Emily, why don't you lead us this time?
All that Yahweh has
spoken,
will we do,
and
be obedient.
be obedient.
Everybody,
Dang
okay,
it.
there's always somebody who
Dang it.
swaps around the will we and the we will. Like,
Yeah.
this is okay.
Okay.
Dang
We're
it.
not
Okay.
going to do a
Okay,
third
okay,
take.
it's
We'll
fine.
fix it in post.
No, it's
No.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
So he read the book, and they were all like, "Yep, we're doing it." Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people,
Oh, gosh.
Ew,
Oh,
yeah.
horror film.
Ick.
and said, "Look, this is the blood of the covenant which Yahweh has made with
Wow.
you concerning all these words."
And the people of Yahweh said, ew, in one
Yuck.
voice.
Ick.
Then Moses, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up.
Went up where? To this
I
mountain?
think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
They saw the God of Israel. Under his feet was like a paved work of sapphire stone,
Wow.
like the skies for clearness.
Wow.
So super clear sapphire.
Amazing.
Cool.
He didn't lay his hand on the nobles of the children of Israel. They saw God and ate and drank.
Oh, so this is like they
Who
saw
he-
him
who
and
didn't
did
lay
not
his
And
die.
he didn't strike
He
them
didn't
down. Yeah.
slay them. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay. Yahweh said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain and stay here, and I will give you the tables of stone
Oh,
with the law
snaps.
and the commands that I have written that you may teach them."
Okay,
so this
so
is
he
the tablets.
did. He did give them tablets. It was just much delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way later.
So
it
God
wasn't like
gave him all the rules. Moses came back, wrote them down, told everyone about him. They were all like, "Yep, we agree." And then God's like, "Come up. Like, it took me a little while, but I've now written them in stone for you."
So,
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So it didn't happen like in the Ten Commandments, the movie,
well,
Right.
no,
at all.
no.
Yeah.
But I think that's what everyone has in their
Yeah,
mind. That that's
definitely.
like what it looked like.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
was it like
Okay.
God's like, okay, Moses, you got to go down and give these terms of use to the children of Israel. They got to consent to it. Now you're going to read them. I don't know if they're going to listen to all of it. They're probably going to just scroll through that stuff, but scroll, you get it?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Good, good,
cute.
good.
They're going
Yeah.
to scroll through that stuff
Cute.
and then they're like, yeah, yes, we consent to these terms of use. And he's like, okay, now that I got him on the hook, now it's written in stone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to do it, man. You got to.
I see. Maybe that's where the expression like, "Let's not set this in stone yet."
Exactly.
Agree on
Yes,
it. And then-
exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
Great. Moses rose up with Joshua, his servant, and Moses went up onto God's mountain. He said to the elders, "Wait here for us until we come again to you. Behold, Aaron and Hur are with you." Hur,
Ben-Hur?
H-U-R, yeah,
Yeah,
Ben-Hur, I
Ben-Hur,
guess.
yeah.
Whoever is
Cool.
involved in a dispute can go to them. Moses,
Go to them.
I'm out.
No. I don't care.
I'm hanging with Yahweh.
Yeah.
Moses went up on the mountain, and the cloud covered the mountain. The glory of Yahweh settled on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. The 7th day he called to Moses out of the midst of the cloud. The appearance of the glory of Yahweh was like devouring fire on the top of the mountain in the eyes of the children of Israel.
So again, because we kind of just established that it sounded like a volcano.
Yeah, it seems
Last
similar
time.
to, yeah.
Okay.
Moses entered into the midst of the cloud and went up on the mountain. And Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights.
That is a long
What?
time.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that's why he had to put someone else in charge.
He
He's
really
like,
was
I'm going to
like,
be gone a while.
Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like that Adam Sandler movie, 40 Days and 40 Nights? Was that
was
an
not
Adam Sandler movie?
It was what's his face?
No, that was 50 First Dates.
Yeah. Wait, what is 40 Days and 40 Nights?
It was Josh Hartnett, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was about him being celibate during Lent.
Oh.
I'm sure it holds up really well now if we
I'm
watch
sure.
it. I'm sure it's not uncomfortable to watch at all.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure it's awful. Real awful.
Wow.
Real
Yeah.
awful.
Okay, well, there we've got it.
Wow.
Do you think
Wow.
that's the end of like this sort of section of laws and
No.
Oh,
ordinances?
come on, Jace.
Please.
Come on. Do you really
There were many. Okay,
think that
they figured out all these scenarios, and then literally the next day, someone else like threw someone's donkey over a fence, and they're like, "Shoot, now we got to figure out a law for that." So like, I'm sure more is coming.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's
For
that's
sure.
probably true. That's
They're like, if
probably
you
true.
threw a donkey over a fence, the donkey happened to knock down some of the fence posts, but the fence did not belong to you. Who pays for it?
let's discuss.
Who pays restitution to whom?
I don't know. I sort of enjoyed this story problem
Yeah.
lawyery section of the
Trying
Bible.
to figure it all out. It is like a big riddle.
Well,
It is, yeah,
it
exactly.
was strange. That was for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we predict maybe more law stuff happening, but we got a little bit of section of actual story here. So Moses has gone up on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. What's going to happen next?
I'm just wondering what he's doing during those 40 days and 40 nights. Does he just sit there like a monk? Is he like bathing in the beautiful Mount Sinai air? Like
The,
what's
like
happening?
noxious gases coming out of this
The
volcano,
volcano.
that he's getting high off
Perhaps
of, I assume.
that.
Yeah, I guess I assumed he was sort of hanging with God the whole time.
He does say, like,
He
come
might
up and
be.
stay here and I'll give you the tablets of stone.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
see.
maybe it's a 40-day turnaround to actually, maybe Moses has to chisel that stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Oh, shit.
Moses comes up there.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm ready to take the stone. He's like, oh, well, so
What's
here's the
this?
deal. I have the
Like, it ain't done
tablets
yet.
here,
Come on,
but
bro.
you have to actually carve them.
Right.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to stay here for a while,
like,
as long as it
I
takes
don't have any
you.
tools
Might
either.
take
You're
you a
going to have to
little while.
fashion some tools and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you
he
know,
was
get
just.
yourself all set up there.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, that sounds about right. All right. Well, we're very, very excited to do this again with you next week. And until then, enjoy thinking about all of those things that Moses was doing during those 40 days and 40 nights.
All right. See you next week.
Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including bonus episodes, new series, guest interviews, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Biblecast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Dedeker Winston, Jace Lindgren, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. The theme song for the book of Exodus is Our Story Begins by Kevin MacLeod. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad.